Hi guys, this is Aude Seynt Martin here, and today I would like to talk about the lies we believe in and the hypocrisy of individual freedom and how we have been conditioned to accept more and more freedom restriction through our own limiting beliefs. It's not even going to necessarily be well received or appreciated by some of you, and I did hesitate before doing this video, but I do feel that some things need to be said as we are reaching unprecedented times that really call for personal responsibility. So I can hear a lot of protests around lockdowns and mask mandates. Some agree with the governments while others don't, and everybody suffer. So everywhere the world is getting more and more polarized, and to simplify, but in a way that's quite true, we are on one side the sheeps and on the other side the complotist, and somewhere above in the middle the people who take the decision and govern us. But this black and white vision and creation of two earths really perpetuate the ongoing problem, and it also hides the real issue here, which has created the situation in which we are all in. Taking a stance against the government measures such as lockdowns and mask mandate, just like blaming people who disagree with the main narrative, does not make anybody the good and righteous guy. It only maintains violence and disagreement, and I personally don't think that the lockdowns or the mask mandates are the main actual problem, but the symptoms of the concept of authority that seems to be accepted by the vast majority of people. I'm repeating myself just to make things clearer. I think that the real problem derives from the vastly accepted concept of authority. To this day, people believe in the legitimacy of authority, be religious or governmental, without questioning really the underlying morality and legality of their action, which also results in abdicating personal responsibility. It can be comfortable, but I don't think this is the solution long term, as we have people deciding for ourselves. A few are the elected or self-pronounced deciders, masters, whatever you want to call it, while the rest of us have the moral obligation to submit without questioning the legitimacy of their action for a certain number of years. And everywhere there's a censorship that has never been seen before. And such belief in government is also the belief that some people have the so-called right to engage in violence and coercion against others who have not necessarily initiated aggression but do not abide by the rules. Let me ask you this question. Was it legitimate for a king to claim that he was the ruler of everyone in the land that constituted his kingdom? That his word was law, and that anybody who disobeyed his edicts would be subject to the violence of his representative and deprived of freedom and rights? I think you know the answer to this question, and history is there to give us the answer to this question. But today, we have replaced the concept of kinship to the concept of authority vested in governments. And we have submitted unconditionally to whatever form of freedom restriction without being able to question, in the hope that salvation would befall upon us. And that, my dear one, is the very definition of codependency. No authority has the right to claim ownership over your body, your property, or the fruit of your labor. And any such claim of ownership upon you is the very definition of slavery. There is a limit to what any government or form or authority or human being may impose to another individual. And this limit results from the universal and natural laws, and any decision shall rightfully abide by such rules to be legitimate. We have an individual responsibility to deepen our awareness of what these laws imply, to hope to experience the much needed shift in collective justice, without which we are nothing more than enslaved individuals to the whim of a few. Here I am referring to our inalienable rights, our birthrights, and the natural laws. And these laws have been included into the English constitutional law over time. They constitute the basis of the English legal system by which the power of kings have been limited to protect the rights of individuals. So there's a hierarchy of laws. In first we have the natural and universal law, then we have the rule of law, then we have the people, then the government, which is brought into existence by the people and submitted to this hierarchy the apparatus of government such as judiciary and parliament. No government can rule, edict, decide of anything that is contrary to the natural law and take away our birthright. Okay, so some of the rights that are included in this natural law are freedom of speech, freedom of thought, right of assembly, right to body integrity, right of access to justice, I believe freedom to travel. The beginning of the solution and true freedom is to develop at our individual level an awareness and understanding of this natural law and moral laws that govern our entire universe and very existence. The fact that a man or a woman is the breadwinner of a family does not allow him or her to subject his family to any of his decisions without certain limits. And whether humanity experiences freedom or slavery results from the observance or non-observance of this body of moral laws. And I believe that as the collective obedience to such natural laws, to which any human being on the planet are subjected to no matter what are their position, expands, so does the collective freedom of humanity. The understanding and respect of the natural laws represent a shift in consciousness that is not going to be easy, because we have to get rid of the limiting belief of our actual concept of authority, because of all the manipulation and the blaming that are just mind games to make you think that any individual may act without any limits because they have some form of authority, be financial, intellectual, or spiritual. And as a humanity, we have to rid ourselves of the concept of authority as the privilege of an elite class or of an individual. The fact that a bunch of individuals, no matter how articulate, how smart they might be, how rich, have been elected democratically does not guarantee collective freedom if any of these individuals do not respect the natural laws. And what we experience from this world is what we have put into it through our own actions and thoughts. So we do have a collective responsibility and individual responsibility. Thank you for watching.